Good afternoon to you and to the viewers.
All right, Professor, thank you so much. Now, this all sounds very interesting, Professor, but what does it really mean?
Well, it is interesting in the sense that it is the first time that really crimes committed elsewhere outside of the jurisdiction of our own justice system is really being brought home, and so that justice is done. But be that as it may, I think it is using here basically a paradigm of universal jurisdiction, where if there are serious crimes of international character that is violated in any part of the world, every country can assume jurisdiction if it so wishes to do so, to prosecute those crimes. But at this time, we are dealing not with prosecution. We are dealing here with the question of first investigation. You can't prosecute without thorough investigation and collecting the necessary evidence that can lead to successful prosecution and conviction on the basis of the principle of proof beyond reasonable doubt, which I think that the public now know very well after the Oscar trial and so on. So the question is whether or not that ruling, although very important in terms of the principle is lays down, whether there can be successful investigation and successful prosecution.
With that, Professor, in this case, then who will be liable to issue such orders for these investigations? In this case, will it be the South African or the Zimbabwean government?
Well, for what the court has ruled, really, the investigating authority in the country of crimes is, of course, the police. The prosecuting authority, of course, is the National Prosecuting Authority. And from that point of view, the ball is in the court of the police to do the investigation. Obviously, when the matter went to court, there was some evidence that was produced just to indicate that there were crimes that were committed in Zimbabwe. And the persons who committed them. The question, of course, is we don't have jurisdiction simply to move into Zimbabwe and carry out investigation. So it requires cooperation from the Zimbabwean government, and it is the people who are in government who are being accused of having committed those crimes. So I don't think that we can really think that the very same people will allow South Africa to carry out investigation. So the implementation of it is more difficult than the affirmation of the principle of universal jurisdiction, but also based on the statutes or the treaties that were being considered here, in particular the ICC Rome Statute, which has been not just ratified by South Africa, but has been domesticated so that it is part of the South African law.
All right, Professor, thank you so much for your time. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. That was Professor Shadrack Guto, a constitutional law expert, live to us from our Pretoria studio.